Let me ask you something uncomfortable. Have you ever been sitting there, phone in your hand, staring at their name, thinking, maybe I'll just send one message? Not a big message, just something small. Hey, how are you? I just wanted to check in. And in your head, you're already negotiating with yourself. This doesn't mean I'm chasing. This is just closure. I'm just being mature. Look, people ask me about this all the time. And honestly, the answer is a lot more complicated than people think. Because when you're sitting there about to break no contact, it doesn't feel like a big dramatic decision. It feels small. It feels reasonable. And your brain is telling you a very convincing story. You start thinking things like, maybe they're waiting for me. Maybe they think I hate them. Maybe if I just say one thing, we can clear the air. Think about this for a second. Your brain is trying to solve the discomfort. That's really what's happening, because no contact is quiet. No contact is empty. No contact leaves you alone with questions like, did they ever really love me? Why did they breadcrumb me? Why am I still thinking about them every day? Why can't I move on? And when those questions keep looping in your head, your mind starts looking for relief. So the phone comes out. You type something, you erase it, you type again, and your heart is beating a little faster than it should for sending a text message. Now, here's the part people don't like to hear. Breaking no contact rarely gives you the relief you think it will. Let me explain why. When you send that message, you're not just sending words, you're reopening the entire emotional system. Suddenly your brain is back in the old pattern. You send the message, then what happens? You watch the phone. You check if it was delivered. You check if they read it. You check if they're online. You start interpreting every tiny signal. No reply yet? Maybe they're busy. Then 20 minutes later, why haven't they answered? Then the spiral begins. Did I say something wrong? Are they ignoring me? Maybe they hate me now. And suddenly the emotional distance you worked so hard to create is gone. You're right back in the psychological loop. Now here's something important. Sometimes they do respond, and people think that's the good outcome. But even that can be tricky, because often the response is something like, hey, hope you're doing well, nice to hear from you. And suddenly your brain lights up. Maybe they miss me. Maybe they've been thinking about me. But look closely at what's actually happening. You're now analyzing crumbs again. You're back in the same emotional puzzle that hurt you in the first place. Let me pause for a second. If you're listening to this and thinking that's exactly what I've done, you're not alone. Seriously, a lot of people go through this. If this resonates with you, like the video, follow the channel, subscribe, share it with someone who might need it, because a lot of people are quietly sitting there with this exact question. Now, let's talk about the deeper psychology for a minute. When you want to break no contact, what you're really hoping for is emotional clarity. You want something that makes the whole story make sense. Something that answers the questions, did they care? Why did they pull away? Was any of it real? The problem is, the person who created the confusion usually can't resolve the confusion, even if they try. Sometimes they genuinely don't understand their own behavior. Sometimes they do understand, but they're not comfortable explaining it. And sometimes they just move on emotionally faster than you did. So when you reach out hoping for clarity, you often get something vague, something incomplete, something that leaves your brain spinning again. And that's why no contact is so powerful psychologically. It removes the stimulus, no crumbs, no new mixed signals. Your nervous system finally gets a chance to calm down. But when you send that message, the entire emotional circuit reactivates. Now let me be honest about something. Breaking no contact doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you failed. It means you're human. You cared about someone. Your brain got attached. And attachment doesn't turn off like a switch. But here's something worth thinking about. Before you send that message, ask yourself one question. What am I actually hoping will happen? Not the polite answer, the honest one. Are you hoping they'll say they miss you? Are you hoping they'll apologize? Are you hoping they'll suddenly realize they made a mistake? Because that expectation is the part that hurts people the most, not the message itself. The hope attached to it. And sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is let the silence stay silent. Not because you're punishing them, but because you're giving your own mind space to finally settle. And if this is something you're struggling with, if the thoughts keep looping in your head, If you keep going back and forth whether to reach out, you can book a one-on-one session through the link in my bio, or contact me through pop call, chat, voice, or video. We'll talk about it like real people. No scripts, no lectures, just figuring out what's actually going on in your mind. All right, talk soon.